Due to the lack of heating, the youngest son got sick. She took Frank and the others to collect coal, but the youngest son still didn't survive. In this time of poverty, they could only eat thick mixed grains. The father had no job and only drank alcohol. The family relied on the 16 shillings of relief money per month. That night, after receiving the relief money, he went drinking again. As a result, another child didn't make it through the winter. He hoped God would save the child, but Frank thought God should save the father. On the day of the funeral, he was still drinking, and his drink was placed on the coffin. Although Frank was young, he understood the importance of maintaining final dignity. At the mother's plea, they received some furniture and moved to a new place. And that day, a new member was added to the family. The mother complained that the father was idle. Even when his shoes were falling apart, he refused to go to the relief center to get new ones. He found an old tire, cut it, and stuck it onto the soles of the shoes. The children gave him disapproving looks. They'd rather not wear them. That day, classmates gathered to look at their shoes, so he threw them into the trash bin. The teacher saw and scolded him, then lectured the whole class, saying it was shameful to mock others. Poverty is not scary, only a dark heart is. Eventually, the father found a job. That night, they waited at the door for him. Sure enough, he spent the day's wages on alcohol and came back drunk. He slept on the stairs and lost his job again. A few years later, Frank had grown up, and another new member was added to the family. Their grandfather heard about it and sent them money. Frank and his brother begged their father not to drink, but he still wouldn't change. The family had no food. The baby had no milk. There was no coal either. Frank collapsed in the church from malnutrition. His father came to the hospital to see him, but acted indifferent. At the hospital, he had his own bed, a private bathroom, and could take baths. The environment was too good. 2 months later, he returned home. The father was still unemployed. One day, the neighbor suggested working in England. Her husband had sent money back from there. The father looked down on her. The mother complained that he was useless. The next day, the whole family sent him off. He promised to send money back soon. Frank also helped deliver coal. Due to long exposure to the dusty environment, his eyes soon got infected. The adults admired him. He received his pay and immediately ran back to give it to his mother. The mother looked at him with heartache. Eventually, his eye infection got serious. He had to receive treatment. Christmas was coming, and they were waiting at the station for the father. They waited for several days, but he didn't show up. They went to the relief center and received a sheep's head, which would be their Christmas dinner. That day, the father finally came back. The children all looked at him, and he pulled a box of chocolates from his coat, only half a box left. From the wounds on his face, they understood. He had been drinking and got into a fight. She had no hope he would bring back money. Facing everyone's disappointment, he packed his things and prepared to go to London to find work. The warm family atmosphere was broken by him. The wife had no intention of keeping him. She hinted at Frank to follow him. Looking at the father's departing back, this would be forever. That day, the landlord came to demand rent. Since they had no money, they had to move out overnight. They stayed at a cousin's house. They cooked for him and had to empty the chamber pot. They were often insulted. One day, he threw food at Angela, which angered Frank. The two got into a fight. That night, he left the place. He found a job at the post office. One day, a woman opened the door and asked him to help write a letter. She was a loan shark. He helped her write debt collection letters. That day, a neighbor sat at home sadly reading a letter, not knowing it was written by him. So he began saving money. One day he returned and found the woman motionless on the sofa. She had already died. He took her money and found the ledger. He opened it and saw that almost everyone in town had borrowed money, including his own mother. So he threw the ledger into the river. All the debts were cleared. He gave the money to his mother and then boarded a ship heading to America to chase his dreams.